Greetings ladies and gentlemen, I'm Darmawan.
And I'm Sandy.
We're actually not really sorry to interrupt your favorite show, but we have important news about MP3AI.
MP3AI or Master Plan for Acceleration and Expansion of Indonesia Economic Development was first introduced by Presiden Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono as a directive for Indonesia's economic development up to year 2025. MP3AI is master plan that providing strategy and regulation breakthrough, count heavily on the acceleration of economic transformation, accommodate all inputs and opinions from all of stakeholders such as entrepreneurs, civilians, and local governments.
Okay, we are already in contact with one of the committee of MP3AI with the initial of FM. Hello, Miss FM.
Hello!
Can you please tell us a little about MP3AI?
Well, the vision of MP3AI is to lift up Indonesia to become a developed country and become the 12th major force of the world in the year 2025. And then to be in the top 8 of 2045 through the inclusive and continuous high economic development.
Okay, anything else?
No.
That's it?
Well, actually...
Okay, thank you, Miss FM. MP3AI is an integral part of the National Development Planning System. The master plan is based on a basic principle and success prerequisite for acceleration and expansion of economic development. This master plan has three main pillars of strategy. First is economic potential development through economic corridors. Based on agreement, the focus of development was classified into 8 main programs consist of 22 main economic activities. The 22 main economic activities are shipping, textile, food and beverages, steel, defense equipment, palm oil, rubber, cocoa, animal husbandry, timber, oil and gas, coal, nickel, copper, bauxite, fishery, tourism, food agriculture, Jabodetabek area, Sunda Strait strategic area, transportation equipment, and ICT. The second is strengthening the national connectivity, and the third is strengthening national human resources capability and science and technology. These three pillars were elaborated into strategic initiatives, and finally, Indonesia Vision in 2025 will be achieved.
Now, off to our colleague Haliman.
This is Indonesia. The main element in the master plan implementation is developing the regional economic potentials in 6 Indonesian economic corridors. We have Sumatra, Java, Kalimantan, Sulawesi, Bali Nusa Tenggara, and of course, Papua Maluku.
Alright, now let's start with Sumatra. Sumatra is the center for production and processing of natural resources as the nation's energy reserves. The economic centers for Sumatra are Banda Aceh, Medan, Pekanbaru, Jambi, Palembang, Tanjung Pinang, Pangkal Pinang, Padang, Bandar Lampung, Bengkulu, and Serang. The economic development strategy for the corridor focuses on 3 main economic activities: palm oil, rubber, and coal. These activities have great potential to become main economic drivers. To implement the development strategy of palm oil, Indonesia has to increase spatial certainty for the development of upstream activities for palm oil, improve the quality of roads from the plantation to palm oil mills, the industrial estates, and ports, increase the capacity of quality of railway at several locations to transport crude palm oil from the mills to the ports, increase the capacity and quality of railway at several locations to transport crude palm oil from the mills to the ports, increase the capacity and quality of port services to transport CPO production. To implement the development strategy of rubber, Indonesia has to Review the government policy concerning the types of materials and products that should not be exported. Improve the efficiency of processing and marketing value chain. Increase the productivity in the upstream by replanting gradually on a larger scale. Provide an easier way for investors to invest in the downstream rubber industry with the provision of information along the process and the procedures, which are clear and measurable investments. Develop the port capacity to support the rubber industry both upstream and downstream. Develop the onshore logistic network between plantations, processing centers, and access to the ports. To ensure the optimal development of coal production, Indonesia has to set the coal usage as the primary fuel for electricity power in Sumatra, increase the utilization of coal, accelerate the determination of reference price of coal, standardization of methods of measuring and reporting the amount of production at the mine and the allocation of export and domestic market obligation, control the illegal mining without permit, increase the capacity of the port in Lampung and South Sumatra to improve the delivery of coal out of Sumatra.
Reporting from Java, the Java Economic Corridor will be developed as a driver for national industry and service provision. Java Economic Corridor consists of 5 economic centers: Jakarta, Bandung, Semarang, Jogja, and Surabaya. The development of Java Economic Corridor will be focused on 7 economic activities, which are food and beverage, textile, transportation equipment, shipping, information and communication technology, defense equipment, and Greater Jakarta area. Food and beverage industry is significant contributor to the GDP of Indonesia. They also absorb the largest labor force among other manufacturing industries. Strategies to develop the food and beverage industries are by implement more effective marketing to capture domestic demand, which is growing rapidly, and increase the use of Indonesian national standard to improve regional export for high value-added products. The textile industry has the highest level of employment in Indonesia. Textile products are Indonesia's largest export commodity to the United States. Strategies to develop the textile industry is by strengthening the role of Java as the country textile producing hub. To effectively implement the strategy, the governments need to provide incentive for textile activities with added value, capture domestic textile market, and increase monitoring of the entry of imported products. Transportation equipment industries are concentrated and form a major hub of transportation equipment production in Jakarta, Bogor, Bekasi, Karawang, and Purwakarta. The increase in car sales is expected to be followed by the transportation component of industrial production growth. Strategies to develop the transport equipment industry are by increasing overall capacity and ability to design and construct vehicles, increased role in development and harmonization of industry standard for motor vehicle within the international arena. Strategies needed to develop shipping industry are increased utilization of domestic production of ships, increased capacity and capability of shipping industry to construct over 50,000 deadweight ton ships, development of shipping supporting industries, and improved support of the banking sector to the shipping industry. The strategies needed to develop the information and communication technologies are harmonization of policies and government programs to create a conducive atmosphere to encourage the development of ICT in Indonesia, the acceleration of equitable provision of infrastructure and ICT service, and the expanding the use of ICT application in various major economic activity. It is very important for Indonesia to have the ability to maintain security and to create conducive atmosphere for the economic development. The national technological capability should be able to produce defense equipment products as well as commercial products that are highly competitive. Strategies needed to develop the national aerospace industry and the defense equipment industry are to develop standardized aviation components that use local content and provide ease of financing facilities and taxation. The Jabodetabek area covers 3 provinces, namely DKI Jakarta, Banten, and West Java, and 12 other vacancies are cities. The strategies needed to develop the Greater Jakarta area are to spread the business activity outside of DKI Jakarta, development of mass transportation system that is comfortable, safe, and cheap, and development of interconnected mass transportation network pattern.
Times of Kalimantan sector is center for production and processing and national mining and energy reserves. Main economy activity in Kalimantan are oil and gas, coal, palm oil, steel, bauxite, timber. In order to support the MP3IAI, the following main economic activity such as steel, bauxite, and timber are potential drivers for economic growth in Kalimantan. Regulation and policy to effectively implement the above mentioned strategies, development a steel industry blueprint, control of illegal mining activity for iron ore trade balance, the implementation of high export duties for iron ore to restrict raw material export to ensure that national demand can be met. Connectivity need to develop provision of infrastructure such as electricity, road network, railways, and port in the proximity of steel industry. Improving infrastructure networks both between steel industry location and to port and harbor facilities. Human resource and science and technology needs to be developed to support strategies above. Encourage the use of most advanced technology to exchange the level of productivity. Encourage the use of non-destructive exploration with assistance from the Agency for the Assessment and Application of Technology. For bauxite, the strategies are alumina process industry, utilizing local bauxite raw material reserves, aluminum smelter, other derivative of aluminum production as well as downstream aluminum industries, require incentive for the government in order to attract investor. Regulation and policy to effectively implement the above mentioned strategies, the need for operating, provide legal certainty, and safeguarding investor from extortion practice. Connectivity need to develop needs, the support infrastructure, including road access to port, road access to conveyor belt system connecting the mine with processing plants. For human research and science and technology needs to be developed to support strategies above, strengthen the capacity of human research and science technology, develop education and technology transfer at Institute of Higher Education to improve technical expertise in this industry. For the timber, the strategies are, needs to be a paradigm shift in the Indonesian timber industry, increase the productivity of forest production development through better application of efficient cultivation technique, and for the regulation and policy to effectively implement the above mentioned strategies, is development of timber industry. PHHK development should not be limited to only increasing investment in new areas. The banking sector should be encouraged to support the development of investment in IPHH.
Good afternoon. Now let's see what we have in Sulawesi. Sulawesi is the third largest island in Indonesia. For many years, Sulawesi has already provided Indonesia with agricultural products, plantation, fishery, oil and gas, and mining. Indonesia is the fourth largest nickel producer in the world. Individually, Indonesia provides 8.8% of world's nickel, and 50% of Indonesian nickel reserves comes from Sulawesi. The development in the sector includes, first, build power plants to meet the energy demand in nickel processing. Second, accessible roads between mining areas and the processing facilities. And the last one, seaport infrastructure, which will serve the delivery of equipment and raw materials from other areas, for example, Papua and Kepulauan Maluku. In oil and gas, oil reserves in Sulawesi Economic Corridor is relatively low compared to other regions of Indonesia. Some strategies related to the development of the oil and gas in Sulawesi are optimization through enhanced oil and gas exploration and production of local oil and natural gas, providing a positive investment climate, enhancement of legislation and licensing of oil and gas activities, improvement and development of oil and gas infrastructure to increase public access to natural gas and fossil fuel, improvement and development of access to new exploration and exploitation areas both on land and offshore, development of refining oil and gas infrastructure, and fuel storage. In food agriculture, the plant strategies are: first, expanding planting area by optimizing the utilization of land. 2. Securing the availability and sustainability of food production through the development of food reserves and storage, empowerment and institutional capacity building of farmers. 3. Improve access roads between farms and trading centers to help farmers facilitate sales and reduce reliance on intermediaries who raise prices up to 30% of final price. And the last one, develop or improve farm irrigation networks. Sulawesi has the largest marine fish production in Indonesia. Sulawesi's fishery strategies include: first, increasing the added value of products with the provision of land conversion subsidies for the manufacturing of ponds or shrimp culture. 2. The development of fish breeding centers or hatcheries to produce quality seeds. 3. Development of fish processing unit. 4. Increasing the capacity of the ports in Makassar and Manado. And the last one, developing of marine storage facilities in the auction places and trading centers.
Unapi Gatrana Adan Tiange Sara. Now I will talk about Bali and Nusa Tenggara. The theme of Bali Nusa Tenggara Economic Corridor is the gateway for tourism industry and national food support. For acceleration and expansion of economic development, they will focus on three main economic activities: tourism, fisheries, and animal husbandry. In tourism, several general strategies to increase tourist arrivals and length of stay in Bali and Nusa Tenggara are: first, improving security in Bali Nusa Tenggara Economic Corridor, among others by a strict security system implementation. 2. Tourism marketing and promotion that is more focused with a clear target market. 3. Empowering the Bali Tourism Board to coordinate marketing and promotion efforts to Bali. 4. Increase service and facilities for the tourists, including improved infrastructure such as water supply, electricity, transportation, and community. And the last, simplify and broaden issuing of entry visa, visa on arrival, and visa on board for foreign tourists, and a visa extension for foreign yachter. In fishery sector, the planned strategies are: first, development of fishery industrial cluster that includes the fishing industry's raw material production. 2. Cooperation with foreign consumer, Japan and Thailand for the marketing of aquaculture. 3. Provision of technical assistance to SMEs to enhance their knowledge on fisheries processing that gives high added value, and provision of PNPA Mandiri micro-credit scheme through fishing cooperative. 4th, developing the Mbai Airport located at Nagekeo Regency, NTT to transport high-value but highly perishable marine fishery products. In animal husbandry, the development strategies are related to: first, increase downstream industries by increasing the value-added activities such as diversifying products. 2. Provide protection of animal husbandry enterprises with policy intended to gradually reduce imports of meat and introduce meat price control policies. 3. Provide asuh, safe, healthy, intake, and halal quality meat. And the last, provision of infrastructure to support farming activities through public-private partnership. That's all from me, Matur Suksma.
Hello, now we have reached Papua and Maluku Island. As we know, Papua is the biggest island in East Indonesia, and Maluku is a province that covered with a lot of sea. There is an economic problem in that two regions because they grew faster than another area, but the GDP is very low, or the lowest in Indonesia. The development in Papua and Maluku are includes the development in food, fisheries, energy, and mining sector. First, we will discuss about copper. Copper has the biggest investment allocation in the master plan. Papua developed the use of non-oil minerals in the form of copper, gold, and silver. The strategy ahead for copper mining in Papua are: first, encourage the implementation of Law No. 4 year 2009 on mineral and coal mining. Second, development of non-diesel power plants and the making of grid clean energy facilities. Improve infrastructure for underground mining in the Block A area, contract of work. And the last one is encourage the creation of a favorable investment. Now we talk about oil and gas. In couple years ago, BP built a new oil and gas and LNG in North Papua. The strategy to build the oil and gas in Papua corridor economy is increase production reserve through increased exploration and exploitation activities, implement single window or one-stop service in the area of exploration permits and production, create a more attractive production sharing contract offering, construction of transmission pipelines in the Bintuni Bay area, and then development of a city gas network in Sorong. And now for fishery industry, Maluku is the main economic corridor in fishing activity because the potential is very large for that. The strategy in Papua and Maluku fisheries sector are development of Maluku as the national fish reserve, development of 6 metropolitan regions, develop 12 fishing ports in Maluku, and facilitate the provision of fishing equipment. To support all strategies in each industry in Papua and Maluku Island, government should improve all of airports in that area. They have to improve and expand Jayapura and Manokwari Airport, construction of Trans-Papua Road, road improvement for the Kumbe Okaba Nakias Road, steam power plant construction, geothermal power plant development, and the development of broadband backbone using fiber optic. So based on the strategies, Papua and Maluku Islands still rely on energy and mining industry. They also could expand the fishery industry. This is Ferdi reporting from Papua. Thank you.
Now, off to our colleague Halimat.
Now we're going to interview one of foreign economic observers from Germany, Mr. Harmut. Mr. Harmut? Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Can you tell me what's your opinion about Indonesian income state and the future state?
To my mind, Indonesia will have a high growth opportunity for the future, especially if we see the master plan for 2025, where the government tries to increase the private sector and also to have a better environment for competitiveness, creativity and innovation for the companies. And at the moment Indonesia has a gross domestic product of $700 billion, and in the future they definitely have to increase that. Also the average income, that we have a higher purchasing power of the people, that there's a higher demand for products, and therefore I see for myself and for my investment companies that we definitely will increase the foreign direct investments and invest more money in Indonesia, especially if the government tries to improve the educational level, that you will have maybe more engineers, more economists, and then you will have definitely a competitive advantage, and you will be on the same level maybe as China, Singapore nowadays. And
Okay, thank you for your...
okay, you're welcome.
Back to Sandy and Wawan.
So that's all from us. We'll be back if you could find other news to report.
Thank you.
Matur nuwun.
Atur nuhun.
Terima kasih.
Suksema.
Amanai.
Menjuah-juah.
Sakalangkong. Terima kasih.
Take me back.
Rolling.
So in this phase, peso hati.
There are
Fisheries and animal husbandry. Kok di Indonesia gimana jadi ya?
This is Indonesia.
Pakai joget ya? Pakai joget ya? Pakai joget nggak? Bandar Lampung, Bengkulu, and Serang.
I just continue, right?
Name is written in the
Masih ini kan?